So we went to the Manialtepec lagoon in Puerto Escondido. It's really, really beautiful. It's a great spot to go and see wildlife, bird watching, and the bioluminescence. And we decided to go there for an excursion. And alas, Melissa was attacked by a crocodile. So yeah, didn't get that far into the trip, unfortunately. But it was really, really beautiful area.
Stunning.
So I spoke to the tour guide specifically, and I asked if there were any crocodiles, and he said no. I asked if it was safe to swim, because they said that we can't swim in the sea because it's very, very choppy. Puerto Escondido is known as a surfer town, so the waves are very strong, and someone had nearly drowned, I think, a week or 2 weeks previously. So they said not to go in the sea, and it was very hot. So I asked if we can go and swim in the lagoon in the river, and they said, yeah, it's fine.
Completely unaware that the crocodile was even following us. My sights were just in front of me, so I didn't actually turn back, unlike the others. So they knew it was following. So it took me by complete surprise when it bit me by the arm and dragged me underwater. It wasn't pain necessarily, it was just like a huge amount of pressure. Crocodiles have the strongest bite force in the animal kingdom. So I felt like my arm had been ripped clean off. It was trapped inside the crocodile's jaws whilst I was being thrashed about underwater. And then that was it, lights out. I regained consciousness like here and there. I remember being dragged away. I think that was the second attack.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. And then after that, I don't remember anything until waking up on the boat. I was in a very bad state.
I didn't see the attack the first time, I just heard her screaming. But then obviously the second time I was behind her, and it came very, very slowly, and then it just grabbed her by the ankle and dragged her away from me.
You're all in like a fight for survival, so it's very much you, isn't it?
Yeah. When I found Melissa's body, it was actually alerted to me by my friend who had managed to escape into a tree. So I was trying, when she finally regained consciousness, I was trying to calm her down because she was thrashing her arms and legs about.
I remember you saying tranquilo.
Yeah. And my friend was in the tree, so he had an aerial view of everything. And apparently the crocodile was jumping up into the tree and he was throwing sticks at it. But then as it started to come towards us, he actually shouted, it's coming, it's coming. And that's when it dragged her away by the ankle. So I was trying to keep her head up above water, so she didn't ingest anymore and drown, and punch off her at the same time. So a lot going on. There's a beach that's connected to the lagoon, so we went off for a swim, and the organisers and some other people stayed. I've read or heard that you should punch a shark in the nose if you get attacked by a shark. So I think I just put 2 and 2 together and thought, right, well, I'll just go for what's most sensitive, like aim for the eyes. But crocodiles and alligators actually have lots of dermis pressure receptors on their snout, and that's what alerts them to disturbances in the water of the prey. So it's lots of little black dots, and I suppose me punching it there was very sensitive. So it thought, this isn't a meal worth. It's not a meal worth fighting for. So I think at that point, like your fight or flight instinct kicks in. So you're either gonna freeze or go into fight mode. I like to think that most people would just fight fiercely for whom they love, and it there was no second of thinking, about the danger. I just kind of just went straight into it.
Well, adrenaline works in an amazing way, doesn't it? So you had so much more strength than you would otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. You can muster this like incredible strength from deep within you. You have reserves. Believe me, like even when you're tired and you think you can't fight anymore, you always find the strength within you. I mean, we just are never presented with that 9-to-5 threat in your day-to-day life, but it's very visceral. It's what we can do when we are stripped right down to our human nature. We could slay a dragon if we wanted to, I suppose. I saw a boat that had passed by, luckily, so I dragged her body towards the boat, just somewhere a little bit more secluded as well, so I can tend to her injuries. But unfortunately, it came back a third time, and that's when it death rolled her. It grabbed her by the glutes and her thigh, and it just started turning. So I started punching it. But I mean, when it started doing that, I thought I don't know if there's a chance that I'll be able to get her back. So that was very scary. And, at the time there was actually a boat behind me, but I kind of forgot about everything around me. And I was just in this bubble of fighting against the crocodile. So, yeah, it was very, very scary at the
Very
time.
lucky to have you, yeah. We're definitely much closer now than we used to be. It helps that we were sisters in this situation, because we can talk about it with each other.
Shared experience.
Yeah, it's a shared experience. Although we have very different experiences of the attack, we can relate to each other, that that strength of love that we both share.
The other day we actually went for a swim in the River Wey, and I suppose that was a little bit of a trigger just because of the surrounding nature. So I had to stop a minute and just breathe and kind of remind myself that it's safe. But that was definitely a reminder of what happened, especially because we were swimming breaststroke at the time, which is what we were swimming, which is what we were doing just before we saw it. And then occasionally, we'll have nightmares, but they seem to have subsided the longer the time has passed since the actual event. But we speak about it so much that we've kind of become
detached.
Let's say, disconnected from it. I suppose you desensitize yourself to the story. It's almost like it happened to someone else. They run bioluminescence tours there, so they are aware of crocodiles in the water. What they actually do normally is they have a boat and they'll drive the boat around in circles to deter the crocodiles.
I'm serving myself up a plate of food. I will, secretly have the bigger piece, which she knows, but she'll say, "Oh, I did save your life."
So we're swimming for PTSD UK and Compañeros en Salud. So they're a medical healthcare charity in Mexico, and they provide healthcare and training to citizens in Chiapas. So that's our little tribute to Mexico, because without the amazing work from the doctors, Melissa wouldn't be here. So
it's in the Thames, between Hilly and Thames and Marlow. It's 13 kilometers, so 8 miles. Luckily, we have a current which will work in our favor, so that should help. But it'll be about 6 hours swimming, so it's a lot,
but all for a good cause. There is obviously the risk of E. coli at the moment, but we've been told that it's currently safe.